Hey gang, hope everybody's had a good week and getting ready for the weekend. I know I'm certainly ready for it. And I actually wanted to be doing this, sat in front of the computer, having a beer and chatting with you guys, but I'm embarrassed to say I went out to the fridge to get one and there's no beer. So I'll be enjoying a cup of tea instead. Cup of tea, and I promise I will rectify that situation over the weekend. So anyway, I wanted to I wanted to have a quick chat today about messenger ads, chat marketing, messenger ads. It's something that we've been doing and banging on about for quite some time, but I haven't really done anything. No blogs and no videos or no lives or anything around that for a while. So I thought it was time, particularly given some of the changes that have happened, or one particular change that's happened with Messenger recently, which is the ability to now get somebody to opt in via Messenger for regular updates on a particular topic. So, when we first started using Messenger as a destination for ads a few years ago, it was kind of the Wild West a little bit. Once somebody clicked on your ad or messaged your page, they were automatically subscribed to your messenger or to your messenger bot. In most cases, for the ads that we were running, we use messenger bots. And once they were subscribed, there was kind of no limit to what you could do. You could send them all of this, spammy stuff. You could send them as many messages as you wanted for as long as you wanted. And eventually people started to get a bit jack of it, as they would, and because as marketers we exploited the channel, as we do. And so Facebook kind of jumped on it and started putting all of these rules in place, and they really wound things right back to the point where you couldn't send a message to somebody more than 24 hours after they'd engaged with your messenger bot, right? So let's say you ran an ad and they clicked on it and it went through to messenger and there was this little backwards and forwards conversation, and then they stopped replying. Well, you had 24 hours to send them whatever you wanted, as much as you wanted, to try and re-engage them, and then after that 24-hour period you weren't allowed to send them any more messages. Well, Facebook have not so much relaxed the rules, but they've made some changes to enable us to still use that channel to communicate with people outside that 24-hour period, as long as those people opt in for it. So now there's an opportunity to give them a message that says something like, hey, do you want to be kept updated on this particular topic, whatever that topic might be? And as long as they say yes, then you can send them regular updates about that topic. So it's really made chat marketing very, very appealing again, or Messenger very, very appealing again as a destination for ads, right? So you run an ad, people click on it, opens up a Messenger chat. And another reason, or one of the other reasons it's so powerful and so useful, is that Facebook like that as an advertising objective, so they show it to lots of people. Consumers love using messaging apps, so it gets really good levels of engagement, and so that means low cost per lead or low cost per engagement. And sometimes that's not a good thing. Like, cheap leads can be rubbish leads, and we've all kind of seen that if you've been around Facebook ads for a while. But because the bot is really engaging, it's like to and fro conversation. You can ask questions and get people to answer those questions. So it's engaging. The lead quality tends to be better. So that's a couple of reasons. And thirdly, a really, really strong reason for using Messenger as a destination for your ads is that with all the changes around tracking recently, and how much more difficult it is to track people once they leave the Facebook platform, or any of the platforms for that matter, when they're using Messenger, that's not the case, right? Because they're not going to a website where you need to pixel them and track them. They're actually still within a Facebook-owned property. And so the analytics are way more accurate, the tracking is more accurate, and the retargeting is much more accurate. So if you're not using a message's objective when you're setting up your ad campaign, at least in the early stages to test your campaigns, I would say do so. Doesn't mean stop using your other ones, right? So if you want to run a lead form campaign, or you want to run a traffic ad and send people to your website, by all means do that, but duplicate that into a messages campaign as well and split test that. and connect it to ManyChat or one of the other messenger bot platforms, because people really like using those sort of messaging apps, and they don't care whether they're getting a reply from a real person or from a bot, as long as it's a quality experience. So you've got to make sure that your bot's put together quite well. But really what people want is an answer, and they want a good answer to the questions that they're asking, and they want it immediately. And so if somebody messages your page at, I don't know, 7 o'clock on a Sunday night, or they click on your ad and it opens up a messenger chat and they have to wait till Monday morning for a proper response, they're going to message the next person. They're going to go to another supplier and message them. Whereas if they can get a reply, a decent reply and an engaging reply from your messenger bot, they're happy. So, and the research supports that. It's funny because the research says that, I think it was something like 28% of business owners think that automated messaging is a good idea. They feel like only 28%. They feel like their customers aren't going to want that, and it's really impersonal. And then when consumers are researched, over 68% of them said, yeah, we really like automated messaging because we get the answers that we want really fast and we don't have to talk to a human being. So there's this massive disconnect between what we as business owners think and what consumers actually want. So if you haven't tested out messaging in your advertising objectives, do it. If you haven't looked at implementing a messenger bot in order to automate that, do it. There's so many really good reasons to, and it's one of the things that can genuinely set you apart from your competitors, because just so few businesses are doing it. And it's not that difficult to set up if you want to do it yourself, and it's not that expensive if you want somebody like us to do it for you. So again, yeah, if you're not using messaging in your campaigns, then I would say please test it out. And if you need help with it, you know where we are. Reach out and ask the question.